Oh my god, hey!
Hello.
We are in New York!
We are.
And we are where today, Aeron James?
In Manhattan.
I was going to say downtown, but we're both correct. Downtown, where the New York Theatre Workshop is located, as it happens, because that is where we are spending our afternoon for the first of two shows today. We've just gone past it. We're looking for a snack. Aeron wants something sweet. I want something savoury. I think I just want like a little empanada. We're passing a lot of hairdressers. This is not.
Yeah, I thought
Let's
that we
turn
might
around.
end up having
Okay.
to just give us until.
I had the breakfast of champions this morning, which was leftover Junior's cheesecake from the end of part 1 of this vlog series, which if you haven't watched already, I suggest you go back and watch. But I used my leftover Oreos as little spoons to eat the cheesecake with. It was decadent, but I had a great time. It's a Saturday today, so standard 2-show day about to happen. First show of the day is We Live in Cairo, which is a new musical currently being produced at New York Theatre Workshop. Our first visit to New York Theatre Workshop, the original home of what?
When?
As you were just reminding me, yes. Also where the Merrily We Roll Along recent Broadway revival was first seen in New York before transferring to the Hudson. Much history at New York Theatre Workshop, and we're going to be visiting it for the first time. Possibly post a snack. It's 1:35. Curtains in half an hour, and that man had pizza, but I think he got it from somewhere else. We're going to walk around. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get a small something. It's ever so slightly colder today, but it's still nice and sunny. Just nice vibes, nice weather here. Downtown Manhattan. I think this is downtown. I called this area downtown in a previous video and someone told me it's not really downtown. But we are further down the town, so I don't know what else to tell you. Aeron has a snack. Aeron has a gluten-free cookie. It's birthday cake.
Toto.
Called Toto. We're not in Brooklyn anymore, Toto. A lot of people standing outside the theatre. I wonder if there's not a lot of lobby space to stand inside until they open the house. We're going to go get our tickets and then figure out what the plan is here. Aeron's enjoying his cookie. Good cookie?
It's also a cookie dough.
There you go.
Like kind of one of those raw cookies, which is I actually really love a toaster.
Yeah. Do you still have the packaging or did you throw it away? I just want to highlight the discrepancy between the image shown and the cookie. It tastes good and it's gluten-free, which is all that matters. I mean, I'm presented without comment. Now we are seeing We Live in Cairo, poster shown there, the top listing on this 2024-2025 season, but the next show down below, A Knock on the Roof, which will presumably be coming here subsequently, winter 2025 it says, which I guess they mean winter 2025 as in January. That's wild. But I saw that at the Edinburgh Fringe, at the Traverse Theatre. When is it at the Royal Court, Aeron James?
From February to March.
February to March. There you go. It's a deeply human piece, incredibly topical, set amidst the conflict in the Middle East. But also, all of that aside, I find it very interesting. Look at the way they write dates here. Fall 2024, winter 2025, and then spring 2025. I feel like in the UK, if you said winter 2025, it would mean the end of 2025, rather than the beginning. Fascinating to me. Anyway, I said we would pick up our tickets and I still have not done that, so I'm gonna go get my tickets. Can confirm not a lot of lobby here at New York Theatre Workshop. Restrooms, doors to the theatre, and the box office over on the left. Picked up our tickets for We Live in Cairo, and there's a little bit of a merch list. Oh, that's not zooming, hold on. Just above the box office window there, it shows that you can get shirts with the New York Theatre Workshop logo on, also a 40th anniversary edition, and you can still get posters for previous shows here. Sing Street, coming to London next summer at the Lyric Hammersmith, as well as Othello and Lazarus. You can also get scripts for Endings, Run Boy Run, and In Old Age, Hurricane Diane, 17 Border Crossing Slave Play, recently seen in the West End as well, and of course transferred to Broadway, An Ordinary Muslim, 100 Days, and you can also get gift certificates. There you go. Oh, and that's a framed version of the t-shirt on the right there, $20 t-shirt. You can also see the cast for this production, as well as the stage management. And we are now seated. I love this space. This is a very wide and open and large space, considering this is a small off-Broadway house. We have I won't call it a playbill because it's not technically a playbill, but it is a little booklet situation here, giving us credits, the origin story of New York Theatre of the show, of We Live in Cairo. There you go. Which I think is actually a vital component of any show. I wish this was a feature of everything distributed, whether it's a program, whether it's a playbill. And there you go, collaborating artists there. There you go, and the staff both for the show and for the New York Theatre Workshop. How interesting. Aeron was just telling me this show was part of NAMT.
In 2016.
Yeah, which is the National Alliance for Musical Theatre Festival, which is, I think, New York's biggest new musical theatre festival. And that's interesting because it just happened. There was just one, like, last week. This one was a few years ago.
And the world premiere was at ART.
World premiere was at ART. Now, we are learning at the same time, because we know nothing about this show, so I am taking in the space here and kind of learning about this world as much as I can. We're seeing many instruments. I kept forgetting that this was actually a musical. This is not a play, just because the vibes are giving like off-Broadway play. But it is in fact a musical. And there's also a note from the cast attached here as well, which I will show on screen, so you can pause and read that if you would like to. But I found that very interesting to read before the performance, which will be beginning shortly. We are currently in the intermission of We Live in Cairo right now. This is the stage, and skip this if you don't want a spoiler for something that happens to the set during the show, but I'm going to pan up. Hold on one second. Look, surprise. Surprise ceiling happened during the show. Very powerful moment in a depiction of a political protest during this show that charts the turbulent political history of Egypt in the 2010s. Enjoying and also learning a lot. Okay, so we just saw We Live in Cairo at New York Theatre Workshop, and had been discussing it. Powerful.
Yeah, very powerful.
Very rich. Historically fascinating. I was saying, I'm really grateful for pieces of theatre that do so much legwork to tell the stories of political chapters of countries that I don't know about. Fascinating. Very interesting. Interestingly enough, and not just because of it being at New York Theatre Workshop, there were a decent amount of like Rent comparisons.
Yeah.
In terms of like how they used songs.
I think it's interesting as the years go on, you find more and more musicals, and you're like, oh, Rent has an influence.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of amazing when you think about the like legacy that show and Dreadful Nelson has had on so many composers and creators.
Yeah, I think there's a few sort of landmark major pieces of musical theatre that we see as significant turning point influences. Rent being one of them, Hamilton being another, probably Sunday in the Park with George. Thematically, I was just saying, I guess it's like that told a story about years of political change in Egypt in the 2010s through a group of artists turned activists, revolutionaries, brought together by that and by personal connection, who sort of, and the first act being very inspirational, very aspirational, very full of hope, and then Act 2 sort of they're living through the aftermath of that initial revolutionary success and the challenging realities that and then it goes to a similar place as Rent did, in terms of like we see a community divided by personal challenges and differences. But yeah, really interesting, really rich, doing an awful lot. Doing an awful lot very well. Really glad we saw it.
Yeah, really glad we saw it.
And just so incredibly different to seeing a Broadway show, something very rewarding, very rich, and off-Broadway. Yeah. We're wandering around the neighborhood downtown and we have come across The Public. This is the Public Theatre here. I've never seen the Public before. There you go. Various things on here at the moment, many of them pictured here. GATS is something we were thinking of seeing here at one point. I mean, we still might, but it's a significant undertaking. It's like 8 or 9 hours of theatre. It is pictured here, and the concept is that they read The Great Gatsby. They read the novel on stage, F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. And that's why it's so long. It does have intervals and dinner breaks, but it's a lot of show. Just popped our heads inside of the Public. Speaking of Hamilton and its influence, Hamilton started here at the Public, as did many other things.
Sucks.
Yeah. They have multiple spaces. We were saying it reminds us of the National. So does Lincoln Center, to be fair.
The Lincoln Center reminds me of the Barbican. I think it's because of where it is with all the different concert halls, or like how that complex is.
But we just poked our heads inside, and it's gorgeous inside the Public. I'm desperate to see something at the Public. But it's like the days we could see GATS, we would have to move stuff around. It's a lot of theatre, that's the problem. We physically don't have the gaps right now to see GATS. We would have to cancel something or move something. And the days that would be easiest to do that is when it's sold out. Because I'm late in making this plan. Anyway, we're loitering here because our friend is actually in the performance of GATS right now, and we think there's an intermission in 10-15 minutes. And so we're going to quickly say hey, and then go about our day. I need food, I don't know about you. I need food. I'm very hungry.
We've got another show, and it's a long one.
Oh yeah.
It's
3 acts.
This is the thing.
3-act play this evening that we've seen twice. We're going to see The Hills of California at the Broadhurst. The Hills of California at the Broadhurst Theatre.
That's one of those shows that I can't not sing the title, even though it's a play.
I've done this to you because I have been singing it every single time.
But it is like it's a musicalized title.
Yeah.
I think any show where they say like Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde.
Like I do, as much as sometimes a title song being that sung in a show can be a bit like Roll Eyes.
Sunday in the Park with George.
It does stay with you.
Yeah. Do you know what didn't have a title song? We Live in Cairo.
The first one?
No, that was Midnight in Cairo. Did they sing We Live in Cairo?
I thought she did.
No, it's hours ago now. I don't know. It probably was.
Look, Mickey, it's Raising Cane's.
Oh, there's a Raising Cane's. Don't, I'm hungry. So we're loitering inside the lobby of the Public Theatre. We've just found this, coming summer 2025. This is going to be the revitalised Delacourt Theatre. This is an open-air amphitheatre in Central Park where they do Shakespeare in the Park for free every summer. And it's been closed for refurbishment, but it's coming back summer 2025. And in fact, pivot, we then just took a seat down here, and this behind me is a sample of the new facade of the Delacourt Theatre, and it's made using redwood from decommissioned water tanks across New York City. How cool is that? How cool? Isn't it cool? It's very cool. Okay, successfully met our friend, who was with more of our friends.
Yeah,
lovely.
Cool.
They all seem to be enjoying GATS so far. It's like a 9-hour piece of theatre with 2 intermissions and a 90-minute dinner break, because they just read the book, and it takes a long time to just read a book on stage between a company of people. They do so. I don't really know how it works. I just know that people have been loving it for years.
I just think it's sometimes surely it must end up sometimes where it ends up like 10 or 20 minutes longer than it should be.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's what you mean by fluctuates. Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're reading is very different to being like the same cues, the same.
A good point.
Because like I heard recently with White Rabbit, Red Rabbit, the right way around.
Oh yeah, at Soho Place.
That Miriam Margolyes added 20 minutes.
Yeah, so
because
this is
they don't read it beforehand.
This is a piece being performed at Soho Place. Different performer every night, and they haven't seen the script beforehand. Look at this child's turning a cube. No, keep doing it. She stopped. The cube turns on an axis. She stopped as soon as I showed you. But yeah, no, good point. Our friend who is seeing the show right now is also one of the people we were at the Edinburgh Fringe with, and who was with us when, I saw 9 shows back to back in one tent, and I think Grace saw 8 of them.
I saw 8 as well, I think.
Yeah, which was a marathon day of theatre, not dissimilar to what is currently happening over at the Public. with Gats, but that's the same thing for 9 hours, which is different because at the Fringe, even though I was in the same theatre back to back, it was an hour of something different every time, which gave it a freshness. And this is just like another chapter, another chapter, another chapter, and like similar to Angels in America, similar to The Inheritance, like we were saying, and other two-part plays that have been written. I'm just walking towards the end of this path now. Got to work out where we are going.
I know where we are because I walked this way to when we went to a bar from Titanic, which is down there.
Sure. Are we walking back to Midtown?
Oh, I didn't know any of the station, I remember.
Let's figure out where we're going. I feel like we're going to Union Square, and then maybe we'll get on the subway, because...
Yeah, that's that way.
Yeah, walking to Union Square as featured in The Warriors. Yeah? Walking to Midtown is probably not a good idea. Taking the subway to 49th Street. We're going to Emmy Squared Pizza. Fun fact, we're going to Emmy Squared Pizza. We're going to the location beneath the Civilian Hotel. First hotel we ever stayed in New York. First meal we ever had in New York was at Emmy Square. We sat at the bar, we were super jet lagged, but we shared pizza deliriously. And clearly so meaningful, I just went to book it, and I made a booking for the wrong location. There are many Emmy Squared pizzas, and apparently there's one on 60th. We're going to the one on 48th, which is not very far. That's too many Emmy Squares. They also have one in Brooklyn. Yes, this song does play everywhere in Manhattan. Get me out of Times Square, get me out of Times Square. If you haven't, if you've never watched one of my New York vlogs before and you're like, what do you mean? It's the concrete jungle where dreams are made of. It is, but it's loud and it's busy and it's an awful lot. So yeah, where dreams are made. That's now playing from a different place. Literally it's everywhere. Everyone go buy tickets to Hell's Kitchen. You'll want Krispy Kreme merchandise. You want a Krispy Kreme t-shirt? Absolutely, why not? I am always tickled by marketing for shows at the Long Acre because all of this construction blocks the view of the marquee. That's why it's there, because look at that. It's getting blocked by the urban umbrella, by the construction, whatever's going on here. But to confirm, Swept Away is now in performances at the Long Acre. It's officially opening in a couple of weeks, but it has started previews, and we're seeing it very soon, in the coming days, in fact. Wow! The street is closed. Oh my gosh!
The whole street's closed. This is Food Central.
This is, what are we on, 8th?
Colombian Bakery.
This is 8th Avenue? Wow! Wow! Okay, 8th Avenue is closed for street food. Love that. And here it is, adjacent to the entrance to the Civilian Hotel, you will find Emmy Squared Pizza. It is a busy night here at Emmy Squared. We actually ended up getting 2 pizzas to share between us. These are just regular sizes, by the way. 6 of those size pieces. This is 2 here. This is the Gourd Vibes Only, which I think is a seasonal special. It's got butternut squash and a whole bunch of other exciting things going on. It's very nice. That was a slightly stressful restaurant experience. Food was still lovely. Lots of ricotta. Like, get 2 pizzas and share them, but they put so much ricotta on, and I love the ricotta ones. And I ordered those flavors for that reason. Oh no, we can go this way. This way's fine. I like those flavors, but in hindsight, should have had one with ricotta and one without, because it was so much ricotta. We're power walking. We're not late. We've still got like 15, 20 minutes, probably closer to 15, before the show actually begins.
14.
But it's 5 past. Or were you counting that?
No, it wasn't.
So, yeah, this is the slight comfort blanket is that shows advertise an 0:00 start time, but they all start at 5 past. But, you know, still aim for the 0:00.
Because you never know, because this is a British show.
It is a British, that's true. Yes, so this is a 3-act play. We saw it twice in London at the Harold Pinter Theatre. And on those occasions it had a 20-minute interval and then a 5-minute pause.
The gays are on her side.
And I'm curious, I'm curious for 2 reasons. I'm curious, one, to see what the intermissions are like on Broadway, and I'm also curious about the woman who just walked past and said the gays are on her side.
I think she's talking about the election.
Oh yeah, then yeah, the gays are on her side. That's absolutely true. Sympathy to the staff working at Emmy Squared Pizza tonight. They were having a time. We got our food, we paid for our food, we got out in time. It was touch and go, and we had to send a pizza back. But all good. and a stressful environment for all involved, and I would not want to work in that kind of an industry on a Saturday night in Manhattan either, because I imagine that it's just regularly hell. Maybe that's why they call it Hell's Kitchen. We are now walking towards the Broadhurst Theatre. Broadhurst! A theatre I have never been to before. Most recently the home of A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, now the home of The Hills of California. The theme of our two-show day is places in the title beginning with C, from Cairo to California, although this one is not set there, this one is set in Blackpool? Yes, Aaron's saying yes to me. Aaron's better with places than I am. But yes, gonna head down Schubert Alley and go see The Hills of California. You can get beverages and visit the restrooms downstairs at the Broadhurst Theatre, where there are specialty cocktails named the Gloria, the Ruby, the Jill, and the Joan, named for the 4 sisters depicted in the play. I know this. I've totally seen it already. So you buy the merchandise over on the far side at the back of the auditorium when you enter, but on your way in, you can browse the merchandise here. Prices shown there. There you go. We've got a Hills of California mug that says, a song is a dream, a place to be. I can't do a Blackpool accent. I'm not even going to try. We also have magnets. There you go. We've got the little keychain made to look like a hotel key because it is set at Seaview Luxury Guest House and Spa. I remember that from seeing the show before. We also have a tote bag with a logo for Seaview Guest House on it, and we have a Hills of California logo t-shirt, and there is an enamel pin up there that has an expletive on it that I'm hoping you can see. We are seated in the Broadhurst Theatre. I'm just going to show you the Broadhurst because this is your first time and mine seeing this. I say your first time. Viewers may have been here before. First time on the vlogs of MickeyJoTheatre being inside the Broadhurst. This is our view from the stage. When everyone's seated, the view will get better. It does have these very cool staircases that go up into the rafters. This is, I think, a bit of a wider stage than the Harold Pinter. Also, having said that the Legacy Playbill covers were only in October, they seem to have more because they continue, and we got 2 different versions. Look at this, of the Hills of California. Now I want the other 2. Maybe now we have to go on a mission to track down the other 2 so we have all 4. I did not know I needed this, but these are some of my favorite designs because look how cute. Do you know what's hilarious? A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical closed and no one told the pedicabs, who are still playing Sweet Caroline as you exit the theatre. Bum, bum, bum. Guess where we are? It's the law. If you see a show nearby to Schubert Alley, you subsequently end up at Junior's restaurant. And we are sat at the bar, which I have never done before. Sorry about that, I was just ordering a Shirley Temple. I have been craving Junior's Shirley Temple because they make it the way that I like it. The way I assume is the correct way, because this was the first place I ever had one. This, for the record, is the answer. This is my good friend Shirley Temple. Grenadine, lemonade, Sprite, as Americans like to specify, and some cherries as well, because why not? In a massive glass, the colour red. I had a whole thing about this during part 1 of this vlog series, which was last weekend to you, yesterday to me, but I'm very glad to be drinking this once again. This vlog also should have a sugar warning, because my goodness, we're about to share a banana split. Woohoo!
Let's see if it's high going
Yes, but I think it's inevitable. Walking back, post-subway, not next to a crime scene. This is the New York Marathon route for tomorrow, which comes very close to us. Now, I have an impromptu thing, a recording thing happening tomorrow in Manhattan, so we will leave early, but even if that was not happening, probably would have been a good idea to leave early ahead of all things marathon, because I think it's going to take a little bit longer to get anywhere tomorrow on account of El Marathon. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of it as well. That would be cool. That would be a fun time. I'd love to run the New York Marathon. I've never done a marathon. I've done half marathons and also not official ones. We have spent much of the 40-minute journey back from Midtown discussing the new ending for The Hills of California.
Yep.
And trying to figure out little details of changes, because little changes here and there, but a substantially different plot trajectory in the third act, like really massive changes. And yeah, talking about how we felt about them, which version we preferred, and kind of like it being in service to different characters and different things. Very interesting. Bam! Oh my god, hey, it is a new day. Although technically we're stood not far from where I was filming last night at the end of this. Much activity here this morning because it's the New York City Marathon! Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm gonna turn this around so you can see how much is going on. We're down in Brooklyn around mile 7, I believe. It is about 9:40 a.m. and if the cheering outside of the window is to be believed, it's been going for some time. Oh, it's the other way round to what I thought. Oh, they're running that way. That makes more sense. I was confused about how this was miles. That makes more sense to me now. They're running towards Manhattan. There you go. I would love to do a marathon at some point. I have been a runner. I have done many a 5K. I trained to run half marathons.
You do park runs.
I do park runs. I trained to run half marathons in lockdown because I wanted something. I wanted a purpose. I wanted a goal. They weren't official half marathons, but the roads were really quiet, so I was like, I'm just going to run for a really long time. And I did 2 half marathons in a week, but I've never done a marathon. And I would love to. And that was also a long time ago. And then I had a knee injury. So I haven't even done 10K in a while. I would love to build up and do a proper marathon. Oh, are people? They're cycling. Much cheering. Oh, here they come. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! Good job! Wow. I mean, this would just be a fun way to spend the day. Everyone's so cheery down here. But we are going to head into downtown Manhattan, heading towards the Bowery to go do a podcast videotaping, which is why I'm wearing a blazer. This is fun though. This has brightened up my morning, all sorts. So fun fact, the clocks went back overnight. This is our second clocks going back in just over a week. So we're enjoying the extra sleep. However, someone down here at the MTA has overcorrected because that should say 9:54 a.m. having previously been 10:54 a.m. but instead it says 8:54 a.m. So eager beavers down here on the subway platforms. We have arrived in Manhattan. We're downtown again, I think. Took the train over the bridge. I love that bit where the subways go over the bridge.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Nice views.
Yeah. I can't remember if we finished talking about the ending of The Hills of California, but we've been talking about it a lot. We've been messaging friends, theatre goer friends, reviewer friends, playwright friends.
I feel like it is a bigger deal if you saw both.
Yeah, but it's like, and it may seem trivial, and it's only really the third act, but it's big changes in the third act. Like, technically, they've cut a character. Technically, they have. And, like, when does that happen? When does that actually happen? Where are we going? We're going to somewhere called the Highlight Room. We found the location for the podcast video filming. It was up there. Just spent about an hour up at the top of this Moxie Hotel. And I will overlay video footage of the space we were in. It was this gorgeous rooftop bar, very professionally put together, much more professional than my usual filming setup. But had a great time chatting to my friend and peer Catherine Quinn, who is doing exciting, intrepid things in the world of Broadway social media. I'm excited to see the interview. I'm excited for you all to see it as well, probably later this year. I don't actually know when this video is going out, so maybe it's incredibly soon. Maybe it got there first, but probably not. But I had a nice, relaxing time just chatting about things, which is not always the case, because it can be a bit of a trip to get interviewed when you're used to being the one asking the questions. And I'm a bit of a control freak at the best of times, so kind of surrendering, not being in the driver's seat, is always a bit of a time. But I had fun. You were listening to my answers. Did I say anything embarrassing?
No, I don't think so.
Good. Good. We've got lots of time before Ragtime. I think we've got like 2 hours because I think it's midday. It's 12:01. So good afternoon, tiny people in my camera. You want to go to Rockefeller?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what sometimes happens? Sometimes the subway is slow and it takes us 42 minutes to get up to Rockefeller. But we are here now. Ooh, look at that. Hash brown brisket scramble. Aaron's getting Dunkin' Donuts. I am heading to... Ooh, something smells great. I'm heading to Magnolia Bakery. Did I just magically... I chose the perfect exit. I was so convinced I hadn't. It's right here. Amazing. I'm going to get some world-famous banana pudding up in here. I wish not to brag. I have this down to a science at this point. A science. Do I go try and meet Aaron? He's going to follow me the way I left, presumably. So if I retrace my steps entirely, we won't go past each other. Also, there's a Trump parade, which is just a few big cars with obnoxious flags going up this street, which is gross. Do you know what's not gross? Banana pudding. The world famous banana pudding from Magnolia Bakery. They have several locations and it's really good. It's like cakey and banana-y and creamy. It's delicious and it's huge and it's exactly what I need right now. Venturing back down into the subway to find the other thing I need right now, which is Aeron James. Horrible news. Horrible news. He's not at the pickup thing. Did he go a different way? I told him to come and find me. I'm just gonna text him. I feel like he went into Rockefeller, maybe. I found Aaron! Hello! And unexpectedly, I also found, like, Christmas vibes. Christmas vibes. The ice rink is ice rinking. I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna eat my banana pudding first. Aaron and I are having sweet and savory moments. There you go. He's got the loaded hash browns. I'm not convinced mine looks appetizing on camera. I promise you it's great. Round they go. They are skating round and round. It's like an open-air, immersive production of Kimberly Akimbo. Oh, look, someone's got the little penguin. They need to make those an adult height. I'm just putting it out there. Some of us grown-ups also need penguins. Some of us have historic roller skating injuries that make us nervous. Just perpetrated a quick trip through FAO Schwartz, iconic toy store, the Jellycat Kitchen, where they fry the little Jellycat Diner, where they fry the little pancake people. It's horrifying if you think about it too much, but it's very sweet if you don't.
Fish and chips one in the Selfridges in London.
Cute. It's also cute. I love a toy shop. But we were looking for Wicked merch and found none.
No.
Found none. Didn't find the dolls. The plushes Noble collection.
Yeah.
But I guess we're going to have to look elsewhere. Next week we're thinking of spending a few hours wandering around Manhattan trying to find as much Wicked merch as we can. I'm sort of concerned now it might be harder than I first thought. Anyway, I've changed into my Ragtime jacket to go with my Ragtime t-shirt. This I got at the Broadway flea market in a previous vlog. You can see my excitement about that when that happened. It's from, I think, the actual parent of whoever, one of the young performers who was touring with the show as the little girl, because it says the little girl's mother, who is not a character in the show. But yes, this is from the first national tour, or one of the national tours, and the t-shirt is from our first ever New York theatre trip. The Entertainment Community Fund did a reunion concert of the original Broadway company of Ragtime, and I bought the t-shirt. And I'm wearing all of it now because we are heading up to go and pick up our tickets for Ragtime! Oh, people have been asking me as we've been running into friends, what is the show you're most looking forward to? And this is the reason why we're here. So. This is the reason why we're here, and it's like probably the most exciting thing. But when show Renee Scott got announced for Little Shop, that did kind of become your main event. That was so serendipitous. And you're excited to see Megan Hilty in Death Becomes Her. Yeah. There's plenty for us to look for. Listen, we're here for 2.5 weeks. If we only cared about one show, we would not be here for 2.5 weeks. This is a novelty, a New York Wagamama. They don't have many of them. How similar is the menu? Do you know what I'm seeing differences? What I feel like I'm seeing? Yeah, no, I am. Interesting. Very interesting. Aaron is enamored by the idea of a chicken teriyaki donburi.
Well, because they do the beef, but they don't do chicken.
They do beef or duck, we think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we're on 55th is where you'll find that, which is also where you will find New York City Center. So this is not a Broadway house. This is is it a dance theatre? Yes. It's a huge hall. But we're here to see Ragtime as part of the Encore series. But this is getting us right in the mood, if I may say so. Oh dear. There's a giant queue on the other side, but we're collecting, and I think that's a different entry point. But that is a lot of queue. We're pre-half hour, so maybe that's the reason why. Encore series, semi-staged concerts, starry casts, limited runs. Used to be 1 week, now 2 weeks in recent times. Many of them transferred to Broadway. Chicago, the long-running Broadway revival of Chicago, started its life as an encores presentation. That's why it's still sort of semi-staged with minimal set and costuming. The recent Broadway transfer of Into the Woods, Parade. Help me.
Once Upon a Mattress that we just saw.
Once Upon a Mattress that we just saw on Wednesday. Correct. Ding dong. Points to Aeron James. And right now they're doing Ragtime. And the casting is stunning. And I got to interview Caissie Levy on stage at the Wyndham's Theatre when she was doing Next Normal in the West End, and I said, it had just been announced, I was like, you're in your mother era, you're doing Ragtime, I can't wait to see you in it. And then I realised, well, now I have to go see her in it. So, happy to have made that commitment, thrilled to be here. That is, look, a lot of people ready to go into New York City Centre, and look how gorgeous it looks in the light today. Look at that, stunning building. Once you enter through the doors and get your ticket scanned and have your bag checked, there is a photo op for Ragtime that says, I'm seeing Ragtime. And also, they've lit it really well. Look at that, it's spotlit from above. Thrilled about this. Do a photo op, but also light your photo op. I feel very passionately. Okie dokie, so you can get your merchandise over here, and they are selling merchandise both for Ragtime, the current presentation, as well as the upcoming presentation. In, I think, February of next year, they'll be doing Urinetown, and they have a hat, a pin, and a t-shirt, and a tote bag already available for Urinetown. Possibly more, but there was so much merchandise I got overwhelmed. You can see a $75 hoodie here and a nice light, sort of a baby blue moment with New York City Centre stitched on the sleeve. I'll show you the stuff that we did get. You can get the tote bag is actually very nice. That's a nice design. You can get posters. You can get mugs. They're out of the magnet. They are out of the Ragtime magnet. You can get pins. Oh, they've got a Urinetown mug there as well. Let me show you what we got. That's going to be easier. So for Aeron James's enamel pin collection, we got the pin. Got the Ragtime pin there. Yeah, looking very nice. I didn't ask for the Urinetown one. Is it below us too far because we're not seeing it? We don't think we're actually going to be able to see... Oh, I just saw someone wearing the same t-shirt as me. We don't think we're going to get the chance to see Urinetown. So buying too much of the merch, it is sad, but buying too much of the merch for that would be slightly delusional. Yeah. We got 2 hats at the last minute. I actively liked the Urinetown hat. I think that's super cute and not a hat. I don't have any hats in that colour, and I wear that colour constantly, so I'm going to wear that all the time. And Aeron wanted the Ragtime hat. That's a very you hat, to be fair. Very Aeron vibes. And I got a long-sleeved tee. I love this. I love the style of t-shirt. I love Ragtime. It's cute as well. What's cute? Oh, it's got New York City Centre on the back there. Lovely. I will say, Creative Goods do a fantastic job on the merch. It is all very well made. It is very well designed. Love their merchandise. Look, you've got stitching in the background. Like, the attention to detail. It does command a price. We bought these 4 things. $123. That's with tax and everything. But just to prepare you, if you're planning a Broadway trip and you're like, going to leave space in my suitcase for merch, then by all means do. Also leave space in your bank balance to buy the merch. No joke. Yeah. And this is our view of the stage right now. Just a lone piano. We have our, again, programs, not playbills, not officially playbills, but with all of the information that we need. A piece about Ragtime in conversation with Joshua Henry, who stars as Cole House, which is information that will be available here somewhere. The musical numbers from Ragtime, going to point out to you the absolute string of bangers from Your Daddy's Son through new music, through Wheels of a Dream, through The Night that Goldman Spoke at Union Square, underrated gem, and then it slows down a little for gliding, then ramps right back up there for the end of the first act. But what a sequence that is. We also have names for the always glorious orchestra, who will be playing And there you go. There's our cast images there, including Caissie Levy giving us Mother, Shayna Taub, Emma Goldman, Brandon Uranowitz as Tate, Ben Levi Ross, Stephanie Styles, and Nichelle Lewis, who we met at Schmackery's the other day. They were giving out cookies. Colin Donnell, Joshua Henry, so many fantastic people in this company. And if there was any hope of me not crying, it is being tested by Brandon Uranowitz's bio here, dedicated for Marin and Gavin. Of course, Marin Maisie, the original mother from the original Broadway company of Ragtime, as well as the wonderful Gavin Creel. So what else do you do post-Ragtime except come to Mom's and get giant... that's my hand. I need to give you a sense of perspective here on how big. This is the French Toast Frenzy. That's a piece of French toast. That is a churro. This is a lot. This is... wow. That was Mom's. You can find Mom's on 9th? Are we on 9th?
Yeah, I think so.
On 9th and 48th. Corner of 48th and 9th, everybody. Do you know what's hilarious? Just had dinner at a place called Mom's, and my hat says Mother. Mother. I'm wearing this today because we're about to go see Drag the Musical, but also I just saw Caissie Levy belt back to before in Ragtime. She was so good.
She was so good.
She was giving Mother. The first time she said Mother, when she was like, the house on the hill in New Rochelle was Mother's domain. She knows. She knows exactly what that means. Ragtime was amazing and beautiful, and I cried. And last year saw the original Broadway cast and still cried a year later. So, yeah, much to say, but just the clear thing was I don't know if it's ever sounded that stunning, other than the original Broadway cast, because just beautifully sung, beautifully played, sounded gorgeous. We are seeing many marathon completers walking around in their orange, who should all be very proud of themselves and the running that they have done today. Oh, we can cross. We're heading to New World Stages, which we were at last week for Teeth, which you will have seen in part 1 of the vlog. Again, they don't necessarily love vlogging inside New World Stages, we've been told before, so you might get a bit of a cut to the end of the show. We'll find out how much we're allowed to show and not. We're going to go pick up our tickets and then go see Drag the Musical. I laughed at this 2-show day because I was like, A, it's drag time. B, I was like...
I'm kind of glad though, because at least it's so opposite.
It now makes sense. And people were saying this to us because I was like, oh, Ragtime into Drag the Musical. It doesn't set up Drag the Musical well to compete with Ragtime.
It probably helps the show as well because we're in a place where we're like, actually we want something that's so completely opposite.
And in terms of competing, the worst thing we could do is try and go to a show that's doing the same thing. If we did maybe Ragtime, then We Live in Cairo.
Yeah.
As a closer example, it's easier to go to something that's a complete tonal opposite. We learned this at Fringe as well. It's supposed to just bounce between completely different things, or you end up seeing something that's
We've done that before, but we've done plays that have similar themes back to back. Yeah. And I started to get to a point where I feel sorry for the last one of those because I'll be so emotionally I can't. Or the less successful, the less engaging one, whichever that may be. Yeah, or really quickly you do go, oh well, that's not as well this is a better version of that. Yeah. Nice restaurant. I am so full, FYI, because the food that we got, stunning, huge. So much food. Huge. Or we can go straight in. We can go straight in. Love that for us. See you momentarily. Oh, I still need to get the merch that I didn't get from Teeth. I did, in fact, get the Teeth stress ball squidgy thing that we didn't have time to grab the other night because we were dashing off, but that's another of the shows here at New World Stages. In fact, Teeth is over there, which is also where its merch is. We're now going into stage 3. Stage 5 is the only one we'd previously been to, There's a bar there, there's restrooms. This used to be a cinema, hence all the different spaces. I think it's very cool. I don't know about you. The Drag the Musical merch, meanwhile, is next level. We have the studio recording here on vinyl. We also have a poster. We've got little, where can I find it? There it is, key rings, a magnet, an enamel pin set of 4 different pins, all with great designs. We have, look at that, wow, look at the back of that sweatshirt with, I think that's Alaska and Nick, I believe. We've got a tote bag, and we've got over here a custom guitar, price shown below for context, but oh, that's gorgeous. And over on this side, you can also get a Drag the Musical fan for thwacking, a Drag the Musical t-shirt, one with the faces on, and these hats both say gay as hell. Do I need that hat? I feel like I mean the hat I'm currently wearing, this doesn't not say, this implies gay as hell without saying it. This is our cast for Drag the Musical. This is the company for this evening. The role of Brendan Hutchinson will be played by Remy Tuckman. You will notice some familiar drag performer names, some of them alumni from RuPaul's Drag Race, including Alaska, including Lux Noir London, including Jujubee, one of my personal favourites. There you go. Very exciting. I've been emailed my tickets as a PDF, which is very helpful, by the way. They're under Mary Jo Boucher, which either is a harmless, non-malicious accident that I don't begrudge, or they really said, they really just called me gay, is what happened here. They were like, here are your tickets, Mary, is what happened. Mary Jo! I sound like I'm from the American South. The show is about to start, but look at this set that wraps around the front. There is cabaret seating and a runway over at the front there. I am in love with this. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. Aeron James is currently wrangling a spaniel. Watch out for Popeyes. There was Popeyes there last time. Nearly lost a thumb. Hello from Brooklyn, New York. It is like 2:30? 3:30? I don't even know. I've lost all sense of time. No matinee today because it's a Monday, and also because we were sleeping and getting a decent amount of work done, which is always good. On a trip like this for 2.5 weeks, we always inevitably have to do a lot of work and keep up with stuff. What's Ogie trying to... Where are you going? He longs for freedom. Interestingly enough, though, many Broadway shows doing Monday night performances this evening because tomorrow is Election Day, and so many shows not doing Election Day performances other than Little Shop, curiously, and I think The Roommate, but also Suffs, who are doing one sort of meaningfully, I imagine. And Shayna Taub, who is performing in Ragtime this week and last week, who usually is playing Alice Paul in Suffs, is returning to Suffs tomorrow and Wednesday, to be a part of those performances that presumably are going to be filled with a great many aspirational and hopeful individuals. And one version of our trip, we were thinking of going to that Tuesday night Suffs
The results will not be confirmed by that point, but I imagine it'll be a very special performance nonetheless. We this evening are going to Water for Elephants, which is a show we've seen before. It's at the Imperial Theatre. They've recently had a cast change, and we are going to go back and see it for the second time. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. How do you feel, Aeron James?
I'm excited to see it again. I loved the circ in it.
Yeah?
It was a pleasant surprise when we saw it last time.
We were like, oh, this is nice. Yeah, this is good vibes. Easy watching too. We saw that back in like March, April of this year, and then on our next trip, I think it was, we saw them performing at Broadway and Bryant Park, and that's when I went, you know what? I would go back and see Water for Elephants again. And now we're going to. Very fun. We also want to buy like the pullover that they sell that we've not been able to find anywhere else. You can get it online, but we don't live in the US, so that's complicated. Speaking of merchandise, I am wearing my new burgundy baseball cap from New York City Center that has "You're in Town" on it. Oh, that's not zooming at all. You're in town. Your ticket should say "You're in Town," which is a show we have not seen. I mean, not that production. I've seen it before, but not this one. And I don't think we will be able to next year, but we own the merchandise nonetheless because it was cute and because I like this colour. And you may also notice both dressed considerably more warmly today because it's cold. It has become colder. The temperature has dropped the last few days, but apparently it's going to get warm again. Some may call it global warming because that's exactly what it is. Also, I am wearing jogging bottoms underneath my jeans. I don't think I could get too warm. The warmest place recently has been the subway, but the theatres are air conditioned, which in the summer I was so grateful for. And last week,
It keeps you awake.
it does, but I've been getting chilly.
Yeah.
I've been a little chilly, and I don't always want to put my coat back on, but I haven't had a jumper layer. This is Aeron's. I've had to borrow Aeron's rugby shirt, which is just the style that the shirt is called. Not that Aeron is part of a rugby team.
No.
Although I could see that for you.
My dad was.
There you go. What about a theatre pal rugby? I don't even know what that would be. We're not sports people. But going to go to Water for Elephants, going to buy that pullover, going to solve all of these problems. Hello and goodbye, Chelsea Market. Stopped off here briefly on our way into Manhattan, made a detour because we're meeting friends for dinner. But neither of us really had lunch, so we were like, we want a small snack. We're going to share novelty crisp flavour, honey Dijon, as we walk up the High Line because we have time to kill, and it's not idyllic weather, but it's nice enough. And you know what? It hasn't rained yet while we've been here, so that's good. We have an ongoing crusade to find good peach iced tea. Aeron's pulling a face. Is it unsweetened? Can you unscrew the top? There's a thing here with the iced tea. It's very tea. Oh, okay. There's a thing here with the iced tea. I have been told before. I've ordered iced tea in, was it Applebee's?
Yeah.
I ordered iced tea in Applebee's and she was like, you don't want that. I was like, do I not? And she was like, it's unsweetened. I was like, then sweeten it. Well, sweeten it. But then they have sweet tea from the south, which is very sweet. So I think the perfect balance is like a half and half. But yeah, I am sort of puzzled. Oh, the crisps are good. Okay. Ooh.
Weird, isn't it?
I was like, I don't hate it, and then I did. What are we doing now, Aeron James?
We are chilling on a bench as you have been posting a review.
We are sitting on the High Line.
Yeah.
On the High Line, which is a thing you can do, as well as.
The tracks behind you. You can show.
Oh yeah. Accidentally stopped filming. Then you can see where this used to be an above ground railway line through Meepa, the meatpacking district. That is a reference to Hedwig and the Angry Inch, if anyone is paying attention. Yeah, sitting and chilling on the High Line, having a nice, quiet day. Listen, it feels mad sometimes to be in New York and like have a day in or have a slower day, because there's so many things still that we haven't done, still that we haven't explored. We've done, like, none of the museums, and there's lots of stuff that we want to do while we're here. It's not that we've run out of things to do, but today is a Monday. and we're leaving on a Friday, and not this coming Friday, the one after. So there is plenty of time yet. And so we are recharging among nature, among chilly nature. Can I interest you in a conversation about like superlatives so far? Most surprising show thus far?
The rooming?
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Large, iconic photograph wall. Mine might be We Live in Cairo.
Oh, actually, no, Cairo.
Yeah.
Cairo. I didn't expect to. I kind of went in slightly not nervous. I think because the reviews haven't come out through, so I was a bit like, don't know what it's going to be like.
We just hadn't really heard anything.
No, and I think sometimes with kind of that type of new musical, I was like, we kind of sat in, and I said to you, I turned to you and went, I should have read the trigger warnings before it started, because I was like, I don't know what to expect of this.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't expect like a kind of rock musical.
And I knew it was a musical, like consciously, but I think I was still readying myself for a play, like an off-Broadway play, and then
or like a musical that's a bit
also that.
That's funniest.
The funniest performer.
Yeah.
Oh. We started strong with Mattress, with Sutton and Michael, and also Brooks Ashmanskas. We've seen lots of funny. We have seen lots of funny. Ooh. You're going to answer your own question?
I'm going to adapt it, because I feel like this will help you. The funniest one-liner.
Funniest one-liner?
That's the thing that sticks with you quite well, is your memory of one-liners.
Oh, you've set me up to fail now, because what if I don't? There were a lot of great lines in Drag the Musical.
There's one that stuck with me since. I was waiting to see if you mentioned it.
Which one stuck with you?
That's white wine. Because it's Sauvignon Blanc. You know, because of the word Sauvignon.
Oh, Jujubee
killed me. That one-liner was just like perfect, like, and I think because it was so her, like even from Drag Race.
It's white wine, you can tell because of the word Sauvignon. Yeah, that was good. So many people wearing their medals. New York City Marathon medals today, and power to them.
Yeah.
But like, does medal collection happen today?
No, they were all wearing it yesterday.
There's a coincidental amount of people then walking the High Line wearing the medals. I personally, and I would love to do a marathon one day, I would not walk the High Line the day after, but maybe
stretching their legs up.
That is actually smart. That is actually very smart, and I'm just being facetious. But also impressed. Power to the people.
I wonder if it's because a lot of people are like tourists that have come here to do it.
Okay.
So this is like part of their. And this is their celebration tourist day after.
Yeah, I show you the same things every single time we walk the High Line, but they're pretty and festive now. So look at this, we've got festive trees. How long does it take to get all those lights on those trees? My goodness, I get fatigued putting Christmas lights on one Christmas tree, and I don't do anywhere near that many. And look at all of these trees, and then also, is that lights or tinsel?
Yeah,
lights. Oh my gosh, there's more trees. So many trees. From a distance, it kind of looks like they're aflame. I wonder if passengers on the Hudson are initially concerned, because it sort of looks like the city's on fire. But no, this is lights going up the vessel, and people walking up it as well. Certainly a much more charming view than has been seen on this installation for some time. That's nice to see. That's very nice. Also, we are adjacent to a performing arts venue, so I should point it out. This is the Shed, where we saw the last ever Sondheim musical. Here we are, currently hosting the transfer of the West End production of King Lear, starring, there he is, big man, Kenneth Branagh. He is Lear, he's co-directing, he's just Ken. There you go. Heading to dinner, pre-water for the elephants. And I'm excited to see it again. I'm really very excited to see it again. Now knowing exactly what to expect and knowing that it's charming and lovely and full of circus acrobatics that will make me, an otherwise very quiet audience member, go, oh! Because that's usually what I do when people do death-defying stunts. But I was also going to say, there's something nice about seeing a show you've only ever seen as a matinee on an evening.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Different vibes.
They are different. This is the thing. As much as we would like to say they're not different vibes, it is different vibes.
Yeah.
It is a different vibe.
And like, there's some things I think I would prefer as a matinee, like The Roommate.
Yeah, it was a great matinee.
If we'd seen it on a Friday night, I might have thought like it wasn't super consequential. But on a Thursday afternoon, perfectly delightful. Like the kind of films you watch on a Saturday night are different to the films you watch on a Sunday afternoon, just inherently. And so Evening Water for Elephants, I'm excited to see it in that sort of a different context. Hello, tiny people in the vlogging camera. We just had a lovely dinner at
really nice
Nizza.
N-I-Z-Z-A.
And it's spelt like pizza with an N. So I'm calling it Nizza, which is just over there on 44th and 9th, basically. But they had and lots of gluten-free options.
So many gluten-free options.
Like celebratory amounts of gluten-free options.
Pizza, gnocchi, pasta,
which is what I had. I had gnocchi.
Salads.
Yeah.
And it's all handmade there as well, so it's like really
freshly
nice
made pasta. Oh, amazing.
It's really nice gluten-free pasta.
Yeah, really lovely pasta. And a nice glass of Chardonnay. And we are having dessert subsequently just around the corner.
At
Schmackarees, yes. Aaron's got the candied yam, which is a new gluten-free flavour he hasn't tried before.
No.
And I, once again, just the other day I had one, but you can never have too many, a crumb of the century. Another crumb of the century. This is the Ragtime themed cookie in conjunction with the New York City Centre production of Ragtime that we saw yesterday afternoon. So there you go. They liked last time, increasingly these days, I don't know if this is just when we come here or if this is a regular thing, they have fewer theatre themed flavours, but they always have like one on the go. Like last time it was the Aladdin one, now they've like got the Ragtime one, but otherwise they're very seasonal. Like they've got like pumpkin spice.
I think it's just because we're in the later half of the year.
Fair.
So like they're doing more of the because also when we came in July it was 4th of July stuff.
It was. But yeah, now heading over. We're on the right street and everything. Just at the end of this block here, across the street, and we'll be at the queue for the Imperial Theatre to go see Water por los Elefantes. And here she is. We are choosing the ride. Which, did it used to say choose the ride? Oh, is it over there? It's over there. You can't see, okay, you can see, you see where it, you see, there you go. There you go. Choose the ride. But yes, Water for Elephants here at the Imperial. This will be our third visit to the Imperial because the first time was on our very first trip to see Bad Cinderella. And then the second time was to see this show earlier this year. And we're now going back, which is always nice because you know what to expect. This lobby has everything. It's got cast boards, it's got chandeliers, and it even has fun facts. Did you know a herd of elephants is called a memory? As Aeron pointed out, it is evidently also called a herd, but it's also called a memory. Also, these large murals on the side here remind me of hallways in Disneyland. Just been to the box office to pick up our tickets. My advice to you, they do not open the doors to let you into the auditorium until, well, just now it was half an hour before. I don't know if that fluctuates or if that's consistent, but it meant everyone was queuing up, and it's quite warm inside and it's cold outside, which means we've dressed for the cold and we're standing in a warm corridor. So I would say don't even like arrive half an hour before. That is really the sweet spot on Broadway. Here's that cast board I was showing you just a few moments ago, and we have some at-this performances, including Samantha Gershman on for Marlena, with the others being tracks within the ensemble, I believe, but I will get confirmation of that when I get my playbill. As you head towards the auditorium, there is a bar on your right. You can see little Water for Elephants cups that you can get there. They do have specialty cocktails. I'm going to show them to you nice and quick. Here they are the Mulina, like Marlena, Rosie Spritzer, and Mr. Jinkowski. There you can see prices and ingredients. If I was getting one this evening, I would get the Mr. Jinkowski, I think. That's a little bit of me. Just past the bar, you will find the merch area with some lovely things. We've got a tote bag here. We've got a zipped hoodie. You can see the back of it there. You can see the baseball cap. You can see the t-shirt. You can see other t-shirts, including that one over there, which is a partnership promotion that benefits elephants, I believe. This is the Benzini Brothers sweater that we should have got last time but didn't. You can also get all sorts of other little cute trinkets here. You can get merch. drinks, you can get magnets, you can get key rings, you can get, oh, look at that bracelet. I think that's also part of the partnership, maybe. You can get the cast recording as an actual CD. Oh, they have a scenery bags thing. We love scenery. There you go. There's a pin that I think Aeron must have got last time. More pins. Many cute things here at Water for Elephants. Seems there's been some changes here at the Imperial Theatre, because there was definitely a bar over there at the back of the orchestra last time we were here, and now there's a bar area in a little passageway out there, which also has queues for restrooms, all of which seems like, I guess, a little bit of an improvement, because I think that means more restrooms, which is always a good thing. And speaking of change, new playbill cover, new artwork for the show. There you go. Playbills are back, it seems, now that we're a few days into November, and this is our view of the stage here at Water for Elephants. We were a little further back last time. Now we could see everything that was happening on the stage, but we couldn't appreciate and really drink in this full proscenium here. I'm going to zoom in and show you the details, because look how gorgeous. Oh, those are the speakers. They've decorated the speakers. Look at that attention to detail. Gorgeous. Going all the way up here, over with all the light bulbs and all of the art. This is stunning, that blue curtain. It is all just gorgeous, and I'm very pleased to be in row E of the orchestra so that we can appreciate all of it. We're in seats 112 and 111, FYI. We also have a cast slip for this specific performance. Kyle Selig has recently joined the cast playing Jacob, and Marlena will be played by Samantha Gershman. That is the female lead. As we leave, I'm going to show you the stuffed elephant, and I will explain why momentarily. So as you may have seen in my previous vlogs and or videos, I have a stuffed elephant from Water for Elephants, but they've changed it. It's a completely different elephant plush now, which is fascinating. The other one's more like a little sitting like teddy bear, and this one is like a standing, like a more structured elephant, if you will. Also,
it's more like the one that's shown in the show.
It is much more like the one that's a prop in the show. Yeah, well, I had a lovely time at Water for Elephants.
The circus.
Yeah, great circus stuff. There's so much of it happening that there's a few moments where there's simultaneously so many great circus tricks. There's like, you were reacting to something, and I was like, I wasn't even looking over there, because I'm looking at this person spinning around with a wild velocity up here. It is just stunning to look at. Wildly exciting and impressive. We're on our way to go meet friends for post-show drinks, because many people have been on Broadway tonight at 7 p.m. shows. Is that a boat? What's happening? There was a lovely member of the front of house team who came to say hello, and that she's seen some of my videos and was very kind and said welcome to our theatre, and that was very nice. So hello to you if you're watching. Thank you for bringing joy to our evening, and thank you for the work that you do as a front of house team member on Broadway. Essential, dare I say. But yeah, had a nice time. Did enjoy very much. Go see Water for Elephants before it closes, everybody. Okay, last time we spoke, we were going for post-show drinks with friends, which were lovely. Nice to see them. Great to catch up. I had wine. We have that's a big hole. We have subsequently been for post-show drinks.
For the friends who were at a different show.
Different friends, different location. Sir Henry's lovely
Yes.
cocktails, great vibes, hence the umbrella in my hat that I forgot about. But I've started vlogging because we're passing the Book of Mormon.
We've had its 5,000th performance today.
This evening, celebrating their 5,000th performance on
Oh my
Broadway.
god, what are you filming now? I didn't understand the...
There you go. Isn't that
reference.
special? Isn't that special? I don't think they did anything outside of the context of that performance. I don't even know if they did anything at that performance. But 5,000. 5,000. Like, only a handful of shows have seen 5,000. There's another one that has. Chicago at the Ambassador. But congrats to the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, and we will see you tomorrow
We will.
for more videos.
We will not see you tomorrow. We will see you
Well, no, they might see us tomorrow because we might still vlog with all of our friends.
maybe, or Wednesday. So tomorrow is the US election. This might be the end of a part of a vlog. This might be the middle of a vlog. We'll figure that out.
Let's focus on where we're going.
We will. We will see you
Bye.
soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh my god, hey. Flash forwards to Wednesday morning. We spent yesterday chilling, getting lunch, sitting in Prospect Park, waiting for some friends to come over to the place where we're staying, playing Wicked Monopoly, trying to feel positive about the news, trying to convince ourselves that it was all, that there was a big turnaround on the horizon. Even as I went to sleep, I was holding on to this vain hope that, you know, this is still how it looked in 2020, and there's this blue shift that happens. And then I woke up in the middle of the night to post a video in UK time, and the writing was troublingly on the wall at that point, and I just lay awake for an hour and a half, devastated, thinking about, like, how do I even vocalize this to Aeron when he wakes up, and just how do we face anything, and how do people keep going? And I say that from a position of immense privilege. I get to fly away and go back to the UK, which is not politically perfect by any means, especially right now. But at the end, I get to do that at the end of next week. And there's so many people who are going to suffer under this new administration. And you don't come here for politics, and so I want to acknowledge it, and I want to address it, and I don't want to seem like I'm being frivolous or like I'm not thinking about it, because we're thinking about it. And my heart breaks for the nation, for the good people of this nation, and for my friends, and for the community here in this country that has come to mean an awful lot to me and an awful lot to us. But I got some matinee tickets on Todaytix, because else all we'll do is just sit around talking about it, sit around thinking about it, and that's not good for anyone. Everyone has to keep moving forwards. We keep moving forwards. So 2-show day planned today, heading into Manhattan. Gonna try and find catharsis, gonna try and spread joy to people where we can, once we can find that. And so I will see you for more New York vlog.
Weird vibes in the city. New York, which heavily democratic. Everything just feels a little bit mournful, apprehensive, grief-stricken. But in spite of that, there's also a futility to that. We're going to attempt to have a nice day of seeing theatre. It's unseasonably warm today. It's like incredibly warm right now. It's probably 26 degrees in Celsius in early November, because global warming is a thing, but that's not going to get acknowledged or addressed here in the US, at least, for minimum another 4 years. Anyway, we are downtown to go and treat ourselves to a sweet, brunchy, breakfasty, lunchy thing at Posh Pop Bake Shop, which is an entirely gluten-free sweet treat location down here around this area. We got off at West 4th Street, that's where we are. We're near Bleecker Street, like in that vicinity. Currently walking down 6th Ave, about to cross past Minetta Street. The Minetta Lane Theatre is around here as well, who do a lot of shows produced by Audible. But yeah, getting sweet treat down here. Posh Pop Bake Shop have recently opened a Midtown location, but they don't have the deep fried Oreos. They have many other delicious things, so do check out their Midtown location. That one is just to pick stuff up. In the downtown one here, there are tables and chairs, and you can sit in and there are bathrooms and everything. But in Midtown, you're just collecting stuff, and they don't have the Oreos, which is significant to me. I think I'm on the right street. Are we on the right street? Is this the street?
Yeah.
This is the place. There we go. This is the place. Here with Aeron James and Kate Ranking. We are all seeing shows this afternoon. Aeron, what are we seeing?
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard. Yeah. Got tickets through Today Tix Rush. The original plan was to queue up on the street and get Rush tickets, but given last night, given this morning, that was not something that we wanted to do. But managed to, just after 9 a.m, get some nice orchestra seats via Today Tix Rush on the Today Tix app, which is always handy for about $45. And Kate, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing Suffs.
Kate, big oof, big ouch, big yikes.
It's gonna be cathartic.
Explain the circumstances of your buying Suffs tickets if you can
So
bear
I
to.
was feeling very confident yesterday, and I was like, I want to buy tickets for Suffs.
In an alternate timeline, that would have been a great
literally
show.
24 hours ago, I think, is exactly when I purchased my tickets.
Yeah.
So it's like, great celebration. No.
Yeah.
Instead, it's gonna be group therapy.
Yeah. And we've been talking through this morning, like, all of the different songs and moments and lines that are gonna hit needlessly hard this afternoon in Suffs. And
All of them.
cathartic for sure, but just painful, I think, very painful. Sunset Boulevard does not have a lot of that, unless, like, the lyric about Idaho gets booed, which I hope it does. Maybe I'll start that.
No, you won't.
Maybe I'll protest.
No, you're not.
This is Posh Pop Bake Shop, if I can manage to say it. Look at this apple crumb pie. They have so many amazing things. We love this place for Aeron because not only is it gluten-free, but it's, like, enthusiastically so. Like, a lot of places have gluten-free options, but these have gluten-free treats. They are decadent and delicious. They also have a whole world of exciting brownies, slices, cakes, cheesecakes. They've got refrigerated pies going on over here. They've got these whole cakes, and they've also got a bunch of, like, prepackaged stuff that you can get to take away. Really great for anyone looking for delicious gluten-free treats here in New York, which in general is pretty good. It's a pretty good place for gluten-free. Often post Pop Shop we will walk the High Line up into Midtown Manhattan. If we had a little bit more time, we might do that, but instead we've decided to take our sweet treats and eat them in Washington Square Park, which I've never visited before. It's very nice. Aeron is enjoying, what is that? Sugar cinnamon pretzel?
Cinnamon sugar pretzel.
Cinnamon sugar pretzel. I got the aforementioned deep fried Oreos. And here we are at the St. James Theatre, where once again, for the first time in months, we're about to see Sunset Boulevard. I'm very excited because I've been talking about this production a lot recently. I've been reacting to the cast recording. It's made me very excited for it, but haven't seen it since January, not even January of this year, since last year. Yeah, have not seen this production since late 2023, so very excited to see it again. We also figured out earlier the St. James is the theatre we've seen the most different shows in. The Hayes over there and multiple others are a close second with 3 different shows, but we've seen 4 here at the St. James. We have seen New York, then Spamalot, then Illinois, and then Sunset Boulevard, which, by the way, also, what completely different shows. To give you a sense of the street, I pointed out the Hayes down there, but there's the Schubert, where Hell's Kitchen is, the Broadhurst, where we saw Hills of California last week, and the Majestic over here, where Gypsy, starring Audra McDonald, is readying to open. Also, Lin-Manuel Miranda was just walking down the other side of the street. I think I can say that you'll be seeing this weeks after the fact, so it's not like I'm doxing his whereabouts. But we're wondering if he's seeing Suffs. I kind of hope so. Kate will let us know anyway. We're going to go in and see Sunset Boulevard. I don't know how well you can see this. This is the cast board over here, but it is telling us when it moves to the next screen that the role of Joe Gillis will be played at this performance by the actor who usually plays the role of Artie, who will also be played by an understudy. I'll show you when we get the slips in the playbills. We are experiencing a little bit of foyer congestion because they opened the building at about 1:20 p.m. and it's about to become 1:30 and the auditorium is not yet open, so people have nowhere to go. I'm going to tell you about the specialty drinks. I'm not sure if you can read them. There is the close-up, which is gin, cava, sparkling wine, lime juice, pear puree, pomegranate juice, and agave. The Sunset Boulevardier, which is bourbon, Aperol, and sweet vermouth, and the Leading Lady lemonade, which is gone. So who knows what that was? There's also wines, sparkling wine, champagne, and of course souvenir cups to drink it all in. FYI, it's 1:34 and the house is now opened. For those of you who may be attending Sunset Boulevard and don't want to encounter congestion. I mean, past I think is always like 30 minutes before. I think is the ideal time to arrive at a Broadway show. It gives you time to do everything you need to do, and evidently, if you get here too early, then sometimes you're too early. And over here we have an incredibly aesthetic merch booth, including the baseball cap that I bought the other day. We have a Sunset Boulevard t-shirt with a little logo there. We have all sorts of other accoutrements as well. They also have beanies. They're also selling the recently released recording on vinyl as well as on CD. We have Jamie Lloyd Company Sunset Boulevard mugs that you can get. There's a tote bag. Is the tote bag the thing that says he doesn't live with mother? That's quite iconic. You can also see the poster you can get here. There's a better look at the beanie. You can also get enamel pins, the button badges, and little key rings there as well. And a notebook. Look at that. It's a Sunset Boulevard notebook. And magnets. I see a little stack of magnets back there as well. And a sweatshirt. They have a lot of products here at Sunset Boulevard. There's a water bottle as well. All going on. Down here where the restrooms are in the basement level, there is this relic from the theatre's history. The Erlanger's Theatre. In any case, previous name of the St. James, I am assuming. And a little bit of history there as well. I love when theatres retain their history like this. Aeron and I have decided we don't need more merchandise. He has the pin from London, and I've got the baseball cap, but we'd quite like a cup. And it's not a bad day to start drinking in the afternoon, honestly. Closer to the bar now, we can see the full list of specialty cocktails. The Leading Lady lemonade, which also has a mocktail version, is vodka, strawberry puree, Sprite, lemon juice, and organic cane sugar. And then there are frozen cocktails for $24. The Frozen Fame, which is rum, pomegranate juice, pomegranate, that was hard to say, strawberry juice, cherry juice, and lime juice, and the Tequila Sunset Arriba, with tequila, lime juice, orange juice, cane sugar, and grenadine. Okay, we have our playbills. We are to the far right, as you can tell, of a row, seats number 26 and 28 of row K. So it's a side-on view. I'll speak to the obstruction level later, but the set is one big screen. So it'll be interesting to see sort of what the experience is like from this wide in the theatre. This production specifically is better for sightlines than most because of that central set piece and that making it easier to engage with from further back. We also got our playbills. I had to go back and get the playbills because slightly different system here where someone was handing them out on the way into the orchestra and we missed them and the ushers themselves did not have them. But this is the understudy slip I told you about. The role of Joe Gillis will be played by Diego Andres Rodriguez, who I think usually plays Artie. That's what we got told. And so that role will be played by Brandon LeVar, and the roles usually played by Shavy Brown will be played by Rixie Terry and Pierre Murray. So there we go. Apologies if I've butchered the pronunciation of any of those names, but I'm very excited to see so many brand new performers in these roles. Really, I am very excited. Post-show, and we have headed downtown to Two Boots Pizza in the West Village. Look at all of this pizza by the slice. Many different flavors. Look, that one's got crawfish. How exciting. I'm eyeing this one down here with blue cheese, buffalo chicken. Just enjoyed some lovely food. Garlic knots, so good. I never see those in the UK. Get us some garlic knots. But I'm trying to figure out who these faces in the mural are. Far left is 100% Bette Midler, then that is Divine. The next one is a lobster. And I don't know who this is on the far right. Does anyone have guesses? Does anyone have thoughts? Is it Marsha P. Johnson? Maybe. Okie dokie, just grabbed some Tsar with our friend Kate. We're going this. I'm going to have to check my phone. Just across the street there, we're in the neighbourhood of Christopher Street, and that is Stonewall, the historic Stonewall Inn. On the neon there on the right-hand side it reads, "In the name of those who came before me, I pledge to be brave, to be true to myself, and to fight like hell for equality. Oh, what a day for it. Anyway, just grabbed some Zar by the slice at Two Boots.
Never say that.
Some Zar, grabbing some Zar.
It's not working for me.
We had the same flavour pizza, but I had it by the slice, and you had a little gluten-free one.
Yeah, although I don't think I had blue cheese on.
Oh? Yours looked the same as mine.
At least I don't think I tasted blue cheese, which I'm not complaining about at all, because that was the only bit of it that I wasn't wanting. So if I didn't have it on...
No, it was quite mild.
Oh, then probably did, but it was so nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad actually, because for the gluten-free one, it's like a lot of places, and I don't mind this because it's the same with the UK. So you can't do pizza by the slice if you're gluten-free, which is most pizza places, because obviously the ones with gluten, they're already pre-made and then they like heat them up. But not enough gluten-free people go to them to do that, and hygienically it's a lot better for gluten-free people. How the menu says, it makes it look like you've got to create your own and do like save ingredients, but the guy was like, oh, you said that, do you just want this on a gluten-free? And I was like, yes. I didn't know if I said that it'd be confusing. So if you go to Two Boots, just say you want which one on gluten-free and which size.
Yeah.
That works.
But they do it in multiple sizes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the whole having to get your own individual gluten-free one means you have to get a massive pizza, but that was a good little personal size.
Or the opposite of Domino's.
Where yours is smaller.
You get the personal size, but when it's personal size it's baby, and then if you're hungry at Domino's you have to spend a lot for a little.
Yeah, so yay for Two Boots. We're still one street lower than where we need to be, but we'll figure that out, that's fine. We're on Waverley Place with the Wizards, presumably.
Yeah.
Not something I was never a Disney Channel child.
Oh, I was.
The time is 6:27, we have a 7 PM curtain, so we are hightailing it over to the East Village from the West Village to get to the Orpheum Theatre to go and see Big Gay Jamboree, a new off-Broadway show created by and starring Marla Mindell of Titanic. Which is very exciting, one of the most anticipated shows of our trip. And hopefully the kind of fun, queer escapism that will put a smile on our faces on this day. That being said, credit to Sunset Boulevard, which did afford me a decent amount of escapism and distraction. I wasn't thinking about the political landscape or the events or stuff during that show because it was so unrelated and because it's so absorbing and engaging and like intense, and it bears no resemblance to that whatsoever, unlike something like Suffs. Although David Thaxton's curtain call speech, which I didn't film because the Red Bucket speeches, when they're happening, they happen at every single show basically. Yeah. And they more or less always say the same thing. Yeah, but I wish I'd filmed it because it was potent and pointed and powerful. It began with him just talking about the work done by Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS and all the different organisations and causes that they support, and he mentioned how they've supported Ukraine in their war with Russia, and then he added on one little line about how that would be more necessary now than ever, and it was like big oof. But then also, and I just blacked out for this because it was so like, oh my gosh, he quoted Bernstein and spoke about art shining a light in the darkness in difficult times. So have a lot of time for you, David Thaxton. What a man, what a remarkable gentleman. Kate, meanwhile, was telling us about their experience at the Suffs matinee with basically everyone crying because there's so many moments in that show. There's a moment where they are optimistically willing a certain presidential election outcome and it goes the other way and everyone's devastated by it. So like that's, how could that not break everyone in the theatre today? Well, we are always later than we would like to be for off-Broadway downtown shows, but it's there, the Orpheum Theatre. I keep getting Gypsy in my head because she sings a lot about the Orpheum circuit. There is Marla Mindell and the Big Gay Jamboree. Show starts in about 20 minutes and I want to browse merchandise. As we queue up for the box office, you can see the company of this production, including many familiar names. I've heard great things about Natalie Walker in this, and of course also Marla Mindell herself, queen that she is. Here is the aforementioned merchandise. We have a shot glass, we have enamel pin badges, we have a magnet, we have a keyring, we have these vinyl stickers here, we have a show logo t-shirt, we have a tote bag with those images on the reverse, we have a pullover that says there's no place like homo, and we have a little muscle tee that says drunken slutty baby. As we're leaving, check out, I'm going to spin this around so you can see. There you go, small auditorium. Jennifer Lopez has a backup. Yes, she does. Had a great time. It was fun. Had a blast, truly had a blast at the Big Gay Jamboree. We were just saying, and I don't think I could spoil the plot if I tried because it would take me too long. It's a time, it's a ride. It's less a musical, like it behaves like a musical. Structurally it's a musical. Inherently it's a musical, and it plays with the tropes of musical theatre. It's very Schmigadoon-esque. That's the best non-spoiler entrance point. But it's not really a musical because it's more like an extended Saturday Night Live style skit where the songs behave like comedy songs in SNL skits and kind of like are functional. They're fun, they're great, and they're entertaining, but you'll get why. When you see it, you'll get why. So go to that expecting a great, hilarious, very gay comedy show that has musical theatre songs in it. If that makes sense, that's where to pitch the expectation level so that you have a great time. Because I think a lot of people are going into it thinking like Titanic, and Titanic has the score of Celine Dion songs.
Yeah, and I felt like it's a bit more like a different vibe of comedy. Very gay,
very gay. It was a gay old time. Yeah. We are back passing Washington Square Park, by the way, and didn't notice that. Did you notice this earlier?
No, I didn't see it. I knew of it, I just didn't see it.
When I mentioned to Kate that we could go there, Kate was like, yeah, sure, under the arch, and I was like, never saw an arch. There it is. Seen it. There you go. Going to go meet our friends at another downtown off-Broadway theatre. And yeah, that's been our Wednesday, everybody. We have seen, I think, on this trip so far, the wildest array of different shows, just in general. To say we've seen Shakespeare, we've seen gay, wild off-Broadway musical, and we have seen big Broadway musical revivals, and like
It's
a lot of stuff.
mix.
It has. It truly has. Got through the day post-election, saw some shows, and I'm just feeling very great. It's one of those days where I feel very grateful for the existence of theatre for ourselves, but more so for all of our American friends and everyone else in the theatre community here. I mean, what a challenging day for performers. My heart really goes out for the people who had to tell these stories and offer catharsis to audience members, but grateful to have the shows and to have theatre there, both for catharsis and for distraction, for whatever people need it for and will always need it for and have always needed it for. Like, there's theatre for entertainment, there is also every other purpose that can serve. Solid 2-show day was had. Gonna get some sleep now before a day of many exciting things tomorrow, some of which have only come together very recently. I look forward to telling you all that we're getting up to in the morning, but Aeron and I will be packing backpacks. What could that mean? You will find out tomorrow.
For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!